Great to have you back. And now, of course, moving on, still on Breakfast Central, let's get to talk sports. We're going to be discussing the AFCON qualifiers. We have Joe Hanson hanging in somewhere to quickly, of course, give us updates on that. Good morning, Joe. Good to see you once again.
That's right. So the latest story is actually focused on Zambia. Well, Zambia play host to Comoros today at the National Hero Stadium in the Sophomore Africa Cup of Nations qualifying fixture. The hosts head into this one off the back of a defeat last time out, while the visitors go in search of back-to-back victories to start the qualifiers. Zambia fell to a disappointing 3-1 defeat against the Elephants of Ivory Coast in Friday's encounter. Goals from Sergio Aurier, Christian Kwame, and of course Ibrahim Sengari left Ajosa Asanovic's men with a mountain to climb before Patson Dakar pulled one back late on. Well, Chipolopolo have now lost 3 of their 4 outings since the turn of the year and are in need of a pick-me-up going forward. Well, next up is the task of taking on an opposing side who have lost both of the previous 2 clashes between the teams by a combined score of 6-1. So it promises to be, it's actually going to be a very, very tough one. Well, having thrashed Mauritania 4-1 in their last competitive game on home turf, Tuesday's hosts will be confident of picking up another huge victory as they look to kickstart their journey to actually make sure they qualify. Well, joining us to talk about this mountain to climb is Aaron Mubanga, a football commentator in Zambia. Aaron, it would be nice to see your face as you join us this morning on Breakfast Central. And let's talk about the chances of Zambia this morning. Well, having suffered defeat in their opening fixture against Ivory Coast, how do you expect the Chipolopolo to approach this game today?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be back here. It's a very tough game for Zambia, given that it's a must-win game. I've been watching the first game against Ivory Coast, but yesterday during the pre-match press, the coach and captain, Coach Asanovic, and the captain sounded very confident. They talked about mistakes they made in the first game and working on them, and then they were having around the squad to just make sure they tighten up at the back and reduce the mistakes they made, the loss of concentration. I expect Zambia to go on the offensive today at home and that need a win to be able to their qualification and race their own hands, because if they lose or draw today, it will bring complications for them. But they face a Comoros side, which is a very good team, at what they did at the last Africa Cup of Nations, and the fact that they're coming off a 2-0 win over Lesotho on match day 1, it's so tricky counter. There needs to get maximum points today, and they will go on the offensive from the word go.
All right. Well, the Football Association of Zambia, that's FAZ, made some changes to the technical team of the Chipolopolo before the start of the qualifiers. Now, Coach Aljosa Asanovic, among others, were appointed, but there seems to be no improvement in the recent performance of the team going by their loss against Ivory Coast. Do you share the same thoughts?
Well, I think we need a little bit more time with the coach to be able to assess whether there's we cannot just one. Obviously, the reasoning behind people saying nothing has improved, that he was here as a technical advisor to Besto, so he knows the play in Zambia for stuff. But I think we need to give more time to be able to see what he's trying to build, see what we need to do, but some things don't work out, and the against Ivory Coast, it's there. Away from home. I think he made a couple of tactical mistakes there where he went with no natural defensive midfielder in a formation that he played to wing back. It's tricky. We tried to attack, go all out attack in a very wrong game. We should be doing that day at home. But all you know, I think we need Man City to build.
I see that. Well, you've also made mention that the coach should be given a little more time. But Comoros, on the other hand, eased past the challenge of Lesotho in a routine 2-0 victory. As a result, they sit second in Group H of the qualifiers, a level on points with group leaders Ivory Coast. Do you see them under pressure to make their campaign 2 wins in a row, coming against Zambia, who would likely go all out after losing their first game?
Well, lost the first game, a very good side. For Zambia to that game. Just a big encounter. Careful. Them shape the thing who might because some show Comoros coming here to win. Even yesterday, the Duke was talking about how he has expressed the fans made a on last.
All right, Aaron, we seem to have a little connectivity issue with your network. We seem not to be able to hear you clearly. I would have really loved to get your points, but a little connectivity issue there with your network. But let's try again. Let's see. Maybe you could do away with the mouthpiece. Hopefully, it would be clearer if we can hear you, hopefully. But I just want to ask one last question before we proceed. Going by records now, Aaron, Zambia hasn't qualified for the AFCON since 2013. Since 2013, they haven't qualified. Now, if the Chipolopolo fail to qualify this time around, what will be the verdict, especially from the Football Association, from the fans, the president, and of course from you, yourself, being a football commentator? What could be the worst?
Well, I just qualified 20. We were at 2015 Africa Champions. We stressed 2019, 2021. So it's a.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It might happen.
Okay, Aaron, I'm afraid. I mean, due to some poor connectivity issues, we're not able to get clarity on your statements and what we are to expect later today. But guess what? Hopefully we can tie in with Aaron once more and look forward to get his analysis on the all-important encounter that will go down today. Quite sad. But that's the story. That's all we have for you coming from sports. Next hour, we'll also take a look at this same game, which will be played later on today. And if you are a Zambian out there and Zambian fans, football fans, you will be eager to see the national team win and get to qualify, because that's what everyone is talking about right now in Zambia. I mean, we've talked to our correspondent who's out there. We've spoken to a few other persons who are indeed looking forward to this all-important encounter. And the Zambian Football Association as well, not forgetting the changes that they did bring to the team. Hopefully, this will yield positive fruit. And if it doesn't, then I'm afraid it will be another shocker for the football fans out there in Zambia. So, okay, and of course, Olive, well, we've taken a look at this all-important encounter, but what else can we do? Nothing more. Hopefully we'll get another look at this particular story later on in the next hour.
Yes, definitely, and of course, see, how much, more can be gotten from this particular encounter. Looking forward to, of course, I always, I'm looking forward to the, a better story, with regards to African sports in general. So let's see where it goes. Well, thank you very much. Absolutely. Unfortunately, we couldn't get clear feed from our guest, but of course we will continue with the conversation as much as we can. Thanks a lot, Joe.